is the Philadelphia Eagles and Michael Vick. Michael Vick can't stay healthy. He's played in 2 preseason games. He's had to leave both preseason games due to injury. Jeremy, I like that too. We can get to that in a minute as well. Jeremy mentions in our chat room that the Jets offense is a joke and they need to sign MJD. We're going to get into that as well. That's actually a great little point. So, Jeremy, please hold on to that because I know you said you're fired up, so I want to get you going. Anyway, so Michael Vick can't stay healthy. He's played 16 games in a season only once his entire career. Now, 5 times in the season, he has played 13 games. So the over-under on his career, and I heard them talking about this on the radio on my ride down here, so I'm not trying to steal ideas. I just want to let you know. I thought it was a really cool way to say it. Over-under on how many games Michael Vick misses is set at 3.5. So are you taking the over or the under? How many games does Michael Vick miss this year? My opinion, I'm taking the over because I really think that he thinks that this team has the opportunity to be great, and he is not the kind of guy that wants to look back on his season and say, I didn't do everything I could have done. Jeremy says push. He misses 3 and leaves at halftime in 1 game. Believe it or not, that's not far-fetched either. I think he's going to miss 4 games, maybe 5. But if he doesn't, arguably, this team is one of the best teams in football. If he does, you have a giant question mark, and then they have to rely on that defense. You know, in my opinion, not a bad defense to have to rely on. But based on what you saw out of them last year, you can't sit here and say they are going to be that good because you just don't know yet. But what you do know is that Juan Castillo, the ex-offensive line coach who is now their defensive coordinator with 1 year of experience under his belt, has got to be better at being a defensive coordinator than he was last year. You got to figure the guys that are playing in this scheme are better in this scheme this year than they will be last year. You got OTAs, you got training camps, you got all of that. Marissa, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your number on the over-under, but I do think Vic's going to get hurt. I'm sorry. He's already gotten bruised ribs, and they thought he broke his damn hand in the first preseason game. Odds have it he won't play the rest of the preseason, and you're sitting there saying, well, all you need is one big shot on this guy, and you're looking at him walking off of the field and not getting back into the huddle. Marissa, I completely agree with you. He is accident prone, but that's his own damn fault. The man needs to understand, I am much more valuable to my team playing than not playing. You know, it's that simple. He needs to be better at picking and choosing his spots to run and spots to take a hit. He does. It's that, like, he needs to be better at it. And if he doesn't become better at it, he's going to miss more time. He's going to miss more games, and he may cost his team the opportunity to make the playoffs. It's that simple. He really might. And I really don't know, man. I really don't. I think that Michael Vick is in trouble if he does not realize that he cannot run around like an idiot. That's actually a really good point, Jeremy, that you put that out there. Eli, Vic doesn't know how to take a hit, and Eli is similar to that too. You see Eli all the time where he'll chuck the ball up and he turns away from the defender. He sees him coming. Peyton and Brady, masters of safely getting sacked. I completely actually agree with that as well, Jeremy. I think these guys, especially Peyton. Peyton is the king of just dropping his butt to the ground so you can't rock him. He really is. Beasley, that's a great point. He can't just run out of the pocket every play. He needs to learn to stand there and stand there and stand there, and then if you have to, take off. I really don't think Vic gets it. It's not that he doesn't get it. It's instinctual for him. It's natural. It's so easy for him to just tuck the ball and run. And you can't. Some habits never change. Old habits die hard. Any other cliche, cheesy little line that we want to use, we can use that as well. All right. Vic is a running quarterback first, pocket second. And it will take him a long, long time to get used to not doing it. He's going to have to get older. He's going to have to get older where the injuries don't heal as quick. I'm telling you. Jeremy makes a good point, though. Fantasy-wise, if Vic has a tough year, this boosts McCoy's fantasy value because the idea for them in Philly was to lessen how much Sean McCoy does or is going to do and increase the amount of weight put on Michael Vick's shoulders. Well, now it's not looking good for Michael Vick, which means LaShawn McCoy getting less of a workload is less likely. I really think that Vic needs to reevaluate how he wants to play the game of football. I think he needs to realize that I cannot just dance around like an idiot in the pocket and try to make a giant play. Sometimes throwing the ball out of bounds is the best option. It's that simple. It really is, because you force to throw while getting hit. What happens? You end up throwing an interception. You end up getting injured. Mainly negative things will take place if that's what you decide to do. Now, I don't know about anybody out there. If you got a strong opinion on this, you want to call in, you're welcome to 201-430-2119. Jeremy and Beasley, thank you for throwing some comments out there, as well as Marissa. I appreciate it. But it's that simple in my opinion. Michael Vick needs to either learn how to stand in the pocket or he needs to learn how to do his job the way they pay him to do his job, which right now he does not do the greatest job at. Because Vick is really talented. We all know how talented Michael Vick is. He is arguably one of the most unstoppable quarterbacks that have ever played the game of football. There's no arguing that. In my opinion, though, if he doesn't stop doing what he's doing, Michael Vick is going to end up having a much, much shorter career than he ever hoped for and that he ever intended on having. I think Michael Vick would love to play for a long period of time. But if Michael Vick doesn't change the way he plays, then Michael Vick is in a lot of trouble.